If you've never listened to me before, please listen to me now. Stop listening to Stephen A. Smith. Stop it. Is this not enough?
I'm going to show my support for Russell Westbrook. I'm going to validate it right in front of y'all. I'd give up everybody for him with the Knicks. Everybody.
And that's going to be the same move that they're going to be talking about on this show mid-season when that move doesn't work out. Now, mind you, I've said outside of the contract, if Russell Westbrook was more affordable and was just a little bit less dollar signs, he's at like, what, 47, 50 something $million. I do believe Russell Westbrook on this team could help us out. But that price range and from what the little sample size we saw last season, that ain't the move. And this man is out here selling his soul, saying that the Knicks need to give up everything to get Russell Westbrook. Now, I understand if you want to keep up with the Joneses, and your homie is a huge ESPN watcher, and you want to, be able to keep a conversation going about Stephen A. Smith. But my advice to y'all is stop watching whenever you see the Knicks come up. The minute you see the Knicks come up on the ticker and you're watching First Take, change the channel. Has he not shown you enough in the last few weeks? I've been trying to tell you guys this for years. Stop listening to Stephen A. Smith. That being said, as I've been mentioning, it is rumor time. It is the time for all the rumors. All the rumors are everywhere, and one of my favorite rumors is this possible rumor that the Knicks could potentially try and move up to get Jaden Ivey. When have we heard that in the past? The Knicks potentially moving up in the draft to get a so-and-so player that they want. But I'm going to entertain this one. I've said it all the time, and I will say it again. Scared money don't make money. The Knicks need a guy like Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey would be a perfect spot, whether he runs that one or runs the combo. It doesn't matter what the case would be. Putting a guy like his caliber on this team only helps A, the team get better, B, keep the youth movement going. We're building with our own pieces. And C, we can stop talking about the damn point guard position because we would fill it with a guy like Jaden Ivey. So do you think that all these rumors that we heard in the last week are enough? Do the Knicks possibly make a move to trade up and possibly snag us Jaden Ivey? And if so, what does that do for the Knicks? Let's talk about that, y'all. Let's talk about it. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Kush, boy, CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. People, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Make sure you make your way over to the CK channel. We stream every single day over there. You guys are slowly making it over. More and more every day, I'm seeing more of the CK crew be like, yo, CK, what's up? Shit, we even had Alex come through yesterday, bro. Shout out to the homie Alex. We have fun over there. It's a different type of stream because we playing games, we having conversations, we got tier lists and stuff going on, but it's a vibe over there, and we definitely still talk about our Knicks over there. So come through, support the boy. And you know another way you can support your boy? Sign up to MATCHBETS. Shout out to MATCHBETS. MATCHBETS is a new player versus player sports book where you literally, as it says in the name, you make a bet and it matches whatever your bet may be. And it matches any bet to up to $500. You have all of your props, you have your bets on games, whatever the case may be. They have a wide variety of options. So make sure you click that link below, go check it out. And even if it's just a little rinky-dinky bet, it helps out the channel. Just you signing up and making one small bet helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And really, I do enjoy using MATCHBETS. Let me tell you one thing, help me out in game 2, then do so for me in game 3. So make sure you guys go check out MATCHBETS. Link is in the description below. You must be 18 and over and must be legal where you are living. And as always, please bet responsibly. All right, matchbets.com, links in the description below. Join up there. All right, let's get into Jaden Ivey. Now, it's no secret that every Knicks fan drooled when they saw that video, that side-by-side video of Jaden Ivey next to John Morant. All season long, people have been watching Jaden Ivey, and they saw that the similarities in the two players' games. Not to say Jaden Ivey will beat John Morant, because John Morant right now is making a meteoric rise. Second pick in that draft. The top 3 players in that draft are looking to be as advertised, from Zion down to RJ. Yes, you could talk about Zion's injuries, but when Zion's on the court, the man is a juggernaut. So those top 3 players are looking as advertised. But John Morant, of those 3, is probably starring the most, especially with what he did with the Grizzlies in this past playoff series. Now, I'm not saying all that to say that you get Jaden Ivey, you get Ja Morant. The point of the matter is the guys have similar play styles, and that kind of a play style, that kind of a point guard ability would be very welcomed on the New York Knicks. Also, fun fact, I think it was Ja Morant's mom who coached Ja Morant, also coached Jaden Ivey up. And that's why you can see a lot of similarities in their play style. Hell, their jump shots damn near look the exact same. But Jaden Ivey is easily the best guard in this upcoming draft. And that could possibly drop all the way down to the 5th or even 6th spot, just surely out of what other teams need. After those top 3 players, then it's a big pool of, you know, whatever you need in that second tier, because they are all around that same tier. In my humble opinion, Jaden Ivey is probably the best guard in this draft, because we don't know exactly who Shaedon Sharpe is going to be. We can all assume he's going to be fire and be that guy. I think he will be that guy. I think he has the ability to be that guy, but we don't know because he didn't play last year, so it leaves a lot of unknown. But Jaden Ivey is definitely going to be as advertised, and then recently we saw that the Knicks were able to work out with him, and they also watched his pro day workouts, and the Knicks were blown away, as they should be, because he matches a lot of things that this team needs, as well as a lot of things that Tom Thibodeau likes in the guard. Maybe that's what it took. Maybe all the Knicks need, or at least all Tom Thibodeau needed, was to see a guard that plays the way that he wants and that he can fully trust if he gives him the starting point guard role. So maybe that's what's needed for the Knicks to finally be aggressive and make a move to go and trade up and get this player. Now, before we go on anymore, I bet you they're sitting asking like, CK, you really think the Knicks gonna trade up and get Jaden Ivey? Absolutely not. I wholeheartedly expect us to stay put at 11 and draft whoever's there, because if Johnny Davis falls down, we get some Johnny Davis, and I'm not going to be upset at that. But I want to play along with this hypothetical, because I do believe that there's a world where the Knicks can make a move, because all they have to do is negotiate with teams like Indiana or Sacramento, and I think that the Knicks could make a move with those two teams. I think that there's a possibility there that there's some sort of move that can be made with either one of those teams. Now, Detroit's staying put, but I think Detroit is going to have their eyes set on either Shaedon Sharpe or, again, a guy like Keegan Murray. But when it comes to Sacramento or Indiana, I think that there's a move that could be made between those two teams. And according to Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report, when he dropped the report about the Knicks being heavily aggressive in wanting to get Jaden Ivey, he was basically echoing the same thing, that if there's a hope that Jaden Ivey falls down to 5 or 6 or falls past the top 4, then the Knicks could get aggressive and try and make a deal with Indiana to get pick number 6 to possibly snag him. But that's a lot of hopes, because let's be real, the Sacramento Kings are the Sacramento Kings, and year after year they just love to draft them some guards. I mean, they even traded away the most recent guard that was probably the best guard that they could have drafted at that position and for what that team was starting to build, and they traded him away in Tyrese Halliburton. But then they got Davion Mitchell, they got De'Aaron Fox, and who's to say that they won't add Jaden Ivey to that mix? Does it make sense? Possibly not, especially when you got what you got. I mean, maybe there's a world where Jaden Ivey and De'Aaron Fox play together. I just don't think that makes any sense. But the Kings don't make sense, and the Kings could possibly do something like that. But if Jaden Ivey makes it past the Kings, there's a world where he can drop down to 6, and that might be what the Knicks are banking on when making a trade, because we know that we could make moves with the Sacramento Kings as far as giving them a pick and then possibly unloading one of the veterans as far as like an Alec Burks, or maybe even dropping one of the picks for next year, because the Indiana Pacers, like they mentioned at the beginning of the season, are looking to rebuild, and they did that very quickly in this past season by ultimately getting a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, and knowing that if they get the 11th pick in this draft and possibly a future first, like probably the Dallas Mavericks pick from next year, then they still are going to be able to draft somebody talented at the 11th pick and then be able to get another piece for next year. So I definitely believe that it is possible. The Knicks have the assets to do it. That's why we trade and made all these moves that we did to get these draft picks, so we can use them as assets to get guys that can help build this team. Now, for any of you guys who are sitting there talking about, CK, 2 picks is too much, this is what I'm talking about. Scared money don't make money, and it's about time the Knicks make that aggressive of a move to get a guy like a Jaden Ivey that can possibly help us out. There's also the conversation that the Knicks could have just lost games and we could have got them ourselves. Yes, we could talk about that, but we're past that. No use crying over spilled milk. The milk is spilled. I ain't gonna cry about it no more. Get a napkin and clean it up right now. I hate that saying, bro. I've always hated that saying. But realistically, I think that looking, if there is any move, I think it's looking like Jake Fisher was saying. I do believe it be making more sense with a team like the Pacers, who are openly trying to rebuild, and they are going to want multiple picks. So you give them 11 this year and you give them the Mavericks pick for next year, because let's be real, Mavericks are an upward trajectory. Even with them not making many moves this offseason, if they don't make any moves, they're still going to be a playoff bound team as long as Luka Doncic is healthy on that squad. So if they're willing to take the 2 picks, then give them the 2 picks and make sure that you snag up Jaden Ivey. Scared money don't make money. I'm sorry. What are we going to do with all these draft picks? What are we going to do with all these draft picks? This is what you use the draft picks for. I know a lot of you guys will be like, what the, but Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Donovan Mitchell. No, build your own team through the draft. Can I say that enough? I've been telling you guys this from over and over again. So this is the move where I would do it. I would make an offer like that. This is the backcourt of Jaden Ivey and RJ Barrett. God. I think there's a world where it can happen. I would love to see it happen. I mean, Jaden Ivey just fits this team perfectly. I feel like he's the kind of point guard that can get the minutes out of Tom Thibodeau immediately and in a hurry, almost to the same degree of what RJ Barrett got out of Tom Thibodeau. I definitely think that he can get there. I like having him because then I think IQ ends up being more valuable at his position, being that 6th man, or even being thrown into the starting lineup next to Ivy, where they have RJ at the 3. There's so many possibilities of what they can do with them. I feel like his fit is just perfect for his game that he has. Now the possibilities are there. Would it make sense? That's there as well. But is it going to happen? Most likely not. We know the Knicks history. We know that the Knicks don't tend to like to trade up in drafts. The Knicks tend to be unlucky in attempting to trade up in drafts. We know that that is also a thing as well. There's the rumor about 2020, the one that I'm going to fight until I can't fight anymore, that I still believe that the Knicks should have pursued that Warriors pick till they couldn't give up anything else. I still think that there was a world where we could have got that Warriors pick, but it's rumored that, you know, the Knicks didn't have enough and the Warriors decided to keep their pick instead. I'm not buying that. I feel like with Mitchell Robinson and then our 8th pick and then maybe like, I don't know, a future pick, we could have got that 2nd overall pick. Is that too much? Probably, but it wouldn't have been enough if LaMelo Ball was on our basketball team. I don't care what any of you guys have to say. But we know that the Knicks in the past, they don't typically make moves like this to move up in drafts. We just don't. But would this year be the year? Let's find out. I'd love it, but at the same time, staying put at 11, there's nothing wrong with that. We've talked about some of those possible pieces that can be there for us at 11. We'll talk about some other names more in a future video as the draft is approaching very quickly here at the end of the month. But Jaden Ivey, what do you guys think? Obviously, I know a lot of you guys would like Jaden Ivey. There's probably some of you guys that don't want Jaden Ivey. But do you see a world where the Knicks finally become aggressive and move up and trade with the Indiana Pacers, or hell, possibly even get to finesse the Sacramento Kings? Do you think there's a world where any of that happens? Or are you like me and you're leaning more towards the fact that it just possibly will be us picking at 11? I wanted to entertain this because I do think that there is a world that happens. But again, with the Knicks, I don't see the Knicks making that move. I'd love to see it happen. Would love for Jaden Ivey to be the one to come and end this conversation of us looking for a possible fix at the point guard. Maybe he's more of a 2 combo guard, and then Manuel quickly can ultimately be the point guard. Whatever the case may be, Jaden Ivey would be very necessary and very needed on this basketball team regardless. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Knicks trading up to get him. Yes or no? Should we even attempt this? What's your guys' thoughts? Let me know everything in the comments below. But yeah, man, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Again, as always, I apologize that there have not been a lot of uploads. Been having a problem with Adobe Premiere, but we're here right now. See you guys in the next video. Let's get it. Make sure you subscribe over to the CK channel for the streams every single day. We'll be streaming again tonight. So I'll see you guys there. All right, y'all know the vibes. MatchBets.com, link in the description below. I'm out of here. I said my piece. I'm spinning around, but I'm still waiting to hear your piece as well. I'm out of here, y'all. I'll catch y'all. Peace.
Cold pizza Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave.